Yo, what is up, Higher View fam? Welcome to the Higher View podcast. I'm here with my better half, Alexis.
Hello.
This podcast is going to be dedicated to the believer, the outside thinker, and the creative. Everyone who is seeking healthy views on worldly topics and community and all of that good stuff. If you are interested in learning about different topics from different perspectives and seeing things from a higher view, we are your people. If this is your first time, thank you so much for joining. We're so glad that you're here. So we just invite you, come and chime in on our conversation and chill with us and come learn about who we are.
Yes, and please listen to the other podcasts too. You can scroll and see which one points out to you. And yeah, thanks for joining in, Higher View fam.
Yeah, remember I showed you, there was a guy that commented on our video.
That was awesome.
Man, that guy, I really hope that you're watching. I have a feeling that you are. But you commented on one of our videos and awesome. You complimented on how we are together, that we're just, it's natural.
Yeah.
What we do. And you said that you're going back to watch the other ones. And that really just kept us going, man. And stuff like that, it inspires us to keep doing this. It lets us know that we're doing a good job. We're doing something right.
And the fact that you were random, like on the media, you're just random, came across this, you said, like, that right there is so awesome. Just to be able to reach out to people or reach people right where we are in our home, someone else in their home or across, the country. I love YouTube because of that reason.
Literally.
Or just the media in general. Like, I feel like I have focused in the past. I know in the past I have focused when it comes to social media negatively, and I have to change my perspective. Like, these are people on the other side of the phone, like, people want personable things. And so if you're growing a business on social media, if you have a business and you need your social media for business, people just want authentic and real, really all that commercial stuff is cool, and it's awesome and creative, but at the end of the day, like, they just want to know you through this.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys get to know us through this.
Yeah, for sure. I've told some people before, like, if we inspire one person, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
That means the world.
It's like having you here, hanging out. Yeah.
Even if we have a handful of views, that's still like imagine the handful of people in the room, us talking to them, like, it's something. When you look at it in that perspective, it's a lot different than just a view.
Or just the follower.
Just a follower.
Like, that is a person. Like, that is a whole relationship you can have. That one friend in your life. That's all that takes, is that one person. I feel like people get so caught up in all the followers, all the likes, but think about the one. Just think about the one.
Yeah. Anyways. Well, after that long introduction, welcome to the show. Yes. Just to let you guys know, we are dropping episodes every single Saturday. So tune in every week. We will be dropping new content, and hopefully it's something that's benefiting to you guys. We would hope that. So just to let you guys know that. And today, it's really just going to be a topic that is really icing over a cake, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think I've told you this before. Getting the compliment, I'm inspired by you just being you. I think that's the most beautiful and most authentic and real compliment that you can ever get. And I think that's the most beautiful and real compliment that you can ever give. I think it's such an amazing thing to say. Because awesome. Just by being you, you make me see things different. And you don't even have to try.
Who, me?
No, I'm just saying, well, yeah, you too. But like, I'm just saying, like, just that sentence, But yeah, you do. Yeah, I told you that.
And for you too, you just being you literally creates this. I just want you to know that. It creates this podcast.
Thank you.
You genuinely just being yourself, the way you communicate, and I know that has been a growing thing for you when it comes to communication, and I think it is for all of us. We don't come out of the womb knowing how to communicate.
Yeah.
And especially growing up in this world, we gain a certain way to communicate. It's the same thing as we gain a perspective. We gain a certain way that we communicate.
For sure.
And we have to learn, and
we don't come with instructions, sadly. That reminds me of like that movie Robots. You know, like I always have like thoughts of like movies, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you guys are probably going to catch on because I'm going to do this all the time. But I always have like, you know,
we need to watch every movie.
I know every time we bring it up, we need to watch it. But Robots, he's like, they deliver the robot in a box and it comes with instructions of like how to handle and like how to put them together, stuff like that. But we don't come with instructions, so we have to teach ourselves how to do things. And one of the reasons, like one of my strong reasons on starting this podcast is because I feel like the area of communication in my life wasn't as strong as it needed to be or as it should be. Maybe that's a harsh way of looking at things, but I'm just such a person that wants to do the best. You know, I want to be the best at things that I do. And communication is one of those things. So starting this podcast is me giving myself tension or giving myself pressure to strengthen that muscle in my life. So
and communication is everything.
Oh yeah. It's an art, dude. Yeah. Communication is an art. It really, really is. When you're able to fully get your thoughts together and put them out in words or on paper and explain things fully up from what your brain is understanding, it's an art.
And right now we're learning the 7 different life languages. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, you know how.
If you don't know, now you know.
If you don't know, now you know. When it comes to, you know, a category and how you communicate or what is your high level of communication, we're still learning it. We've only taken 1 class so far. But I still need to take the test to figure out what I
do too.
Operate in. I think I operate highly and I forget what it's called. I know it's like emotional or like influential.
Influence.
Yeah, influence.
I think it's called influence.
But it has like characteristics towards it on why you operate highly in that. Like we all operate in all 7 languages, but we communicate highly at one. And then when you learn that, it's called the 7 life language test or something like that. So you can take it and then you learn what your spouse language is. You learn what your parents, your brother, your friends, and it helps you just communicate with everybody better, learning their language, learning your language, and then again, we're all the languages. So you just have different levels and you can grow in them. So you're not stuck in just this one category language.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll drop the link in the comment section. Just check that down below if you're on YouTube. And I believe I can drop it if you're listening as well. I'll drop the link, so check that, and you guys can take that for yourself if you're interested. Yeah.
That solves that.
So that's it. We'll see you guys next week. That's your freebie of the week. So peace out. No, but
I feel like before we get in there, let me just fill y'all in real quick about our car. I feel like that has been like the main thing in this podcast.
I forgot to mention that.
If you guys have watched all the episodes or have listened to most of them, you have heard something about our car. So we just need to update you guys. So I just took our car to the shop today, finally.
Finally did.
Windshield wipers still aren't removed or switched out. We need to do that before the weather changes.
It's all good. I mean, it's not horrible.
Yeah.
It could be replaced, but they're not horrible.
But we finally got an alignment. It's changed. And then the brakes. So I don't need to go into all that.
It's a long story.
It's a very long story. But the scraping on our brakes, after hearing the scraping one time, getting our rotors and our brake completely changed, and then spending all that money, and then still hearing the same problem, it's fixed now.
It's finally fixed.
Thanks to that Matt guy. If you watched
It was from Matt, the guy that we mentioned in one of the podcasts of Letting Go of Control.
Yes.
Matt, the guy that helped us out. Yeah, you guys need to go to the shop. If you live in DFW, you need to go hook this guy up.
Don't go anywhere else. I'm just telling you.
No, don't go anywhere else. Don't go to Pet Boys.
Oh.
Don't go to Pet Boys.
Somebody needs to do something with that.
I don't know how they have so many shops.
I've heard a lot of bad things, bad reviews.
We've had a bad, horrible,
are one of them.
atrocious
experience.
Awful. It was bad.
But at least we're on the other side of that. Now we
Yeah.
can learn and move forward.
But that's your update for us on the car.
Yes.
Just to let you guys know, we do not drive a bucket. It's actually a pretty decent car.
It's a 2020 Honda Accord.
But we just haven't really been up to maintenance on it because we're kind of busy with life. So
And
if
we've
you
driven
understand
it.
that struggle.
There's over 68,000 miles on our car, and we got it 0 miles 2020. People like freak out. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Because we drove it a lot. Like, we went to Colorado and we did trips with it. But that's the whole point. If you have a good car, take it.
Take it around, man.
Take it
Especially if it's a Honda.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this.
What?
Who is someone that has inspired you or given you a different look just by them being you? Or just by them being them?
You.
Me. Okay, but someone else. And why?
I feel like I have, a lot of people. Because everybody I come across, I see them as them. And so they inspire me just by being them. I would say my friend Shay. I don't know. She just came to my mind. And I hope you're watching this. You know what? I'm going to send it to you.
You're going to watch it.
You're going to watch it. You're going to watch it right now, Shay.
You don't have a choice.
You'll be on this podcast one day and people will only know. I'm going to go back and be like, hey, episode 7, go rewatch that because we're talking about Shay right now. Well, this is her. Okay. All right. Yeah. She's awesome. We love Shay. She literally walks in her identity. She literally walks in her just by being her.
It's facts.
And it is so beautiful. And I look up to her so much in that. I would say that. And then the other people that came to me, I know this kind of sounds a little like, what's the word? I don't know the word that I'm looking for.
I don't know.
Obvious, maybe. But I would say our pastors, Pastor Micah and Pastor Lindsay, people that are like pretty much your leaders. Like they are leaders to us. We look up to them. They lead us in a certain way. And they really do, like, they don't act any different when they're on stage and when they're off stage. Like, if you have a conversation with them, the way that they just are, they're just being them. Mm-hmm. And they look at you like you're being you. Like, they don't, like, look at you any kind of other way. They don't look at you like you're lower than them. They don't look at you, because I'm a pastor, you are. They just are so humble. And I can see in their eyes, like, love in their eyes because you are a human being and you have a purpose on your life just as much as they do. And I just love that.
Yeah.
But what about you?
Definitely someone that has given me a huge perspective change, direction change, just by them being them. Mm-hmm. P-Nate. Dude, when we met him, he was like, I've never seen that kind of passion in a man.
Yeah.
It was just so different.
That was different.
It was not even just about like, I mean, he's a pastor. That's why we call him P-Nate. But
he's mainly in the political field.
Yeah, he's mainly in the political field. Like he's running for a high seat in Texas right now. And I think he actually won. I believe he did.
Let's go.
But it's not even just that he's a pastor. Like he has so much passion for life and doing what's right and being in the right areas at the right time. Like his passion for life is so contagious.
Ooh.
It's so contagious.
Yes.
It's very contagious.
So
like
it
rubs off on
yeah,
you.
we are literally, so we did, it's called House College. I don't know if we mentioned anything about that, but he was,
I think we did actually. I don't know.
He like poured into us for so many months, and we actually mentioned managing your emotions in one of our episodes. I don't remember which one, but he's the one that taught us that. And that was like probably the best advice we could ever get in our whole life. Yeah, if you guys don't know him, do you know his last name? It's kind of a long last name.
Schatzline.
Nate Schatzline.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to spell it. It's weird.
It's on, you can look him up, but he's great.
Yeah.
Great person on this earth.
Here's the thing. I think it's a human feeling for everyone to at least want or crave or have the idea of doing good in life. I think that's a normal thing. I think everybody has that at some point in their life. They have like some point that they come to or a conclusion that they come to, or like, am I doing a good thing? Or if they're around somebody that maybe someone looks up to them, like, am I inspiring? Or maybe it's not that thought, but like, is someone gonna, if someone is following after me, maybe like a big brother or something like that, am I doing good? Like, am I setting good steps for somebody else to follow? You know, I feel like that's just a human experience. Everybody wants to feel like they're doing good in life, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's so easy in this day and age just to get caught up in dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Like clubs, bars, like drugs. Like,
that's the normal.
it's the normal thing, dude. And it sucks that it's that way. But it makes it so hard to see the things differently and be different. You know, like being a part of the different crowd or being a part of the crowd.
It's almost uncomfortable at first.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if that's all your friends, like what you're surrounded with is in, you're not going to know any different. Even if you step out of that and you are, you know, you want to change, you want to have a different, you know, crowd around you, you want to be different, but you don't make new friends or you don't step back from those friends, you're not going to change. It's all about who's around you. You know, because one, we're not supposed to be alone. If you're alone for like a long time and you're not around anybody, how, like, that's just not healthy. Like, that's literally scientifically proven. That's just not healthy for your soul. We're meant to.
It's scientifically proven. It's biblically proven.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more answers do you need? You know, it's biblically proven. I don't know about scientifically, but it's biblically proven that your heart rages against counsel when you're alone because you rely so much on your own understanding and what you think about. Like, this thought came to me, so that has to be true. You know, so when you're alone, you have nothing to sharpen yourself against. And I think the rewards are far more beneficial than that one shot, that one hit, or that one night stand. The rewards are far more beneficial to be different and to be doing something good in the world, to be that person that you can look up to, or someone that you would look up to when you were younger. You know, living that kind of life, taking those steps, because it's a daily walk. You know, taking those daily steps, so much more beneficial than those one nights.
Yeah. And I mean, when you said that, for me, I try to vision myself as a child. I didn't know any better. Yeah. I didn't know what to look for, you know, because you are what you are around. You know, as a child from like 0 to 5 years old, you're just this fresh person, this fresh mind, and you're a sponge and you soak in everything that you see and everybody you're around or who your parents bring around, and you don't really know what to look up to. So I want to like talk a little bit about that too. You know, give yourself some grace if you have stepped into the dumb stuff, the worldly things. Give yourself some grace. It's just about give yourself a vision. Like, what are you wanting next? You know, like, what is this? What your life, you want the rest of your life to look like? I mean, think about eventually you're gonna be 50 years old. You still gonna be living like that? Like,
I'll be 50 years old.
No, be 50. And I'm not going to say that's old. Let's talk about 70, wrinkly. Like, you're going to be old. You still going to be acting like that.
You stank. You weird.
I mean, no, you wise. Oh, I had this one old guy when I served at the diner. He would come every day. And then he always asked for the senior discount. I was like, yeah, because it's the wisdom, right? And he just, like, every time, that's how he knew me. He's like, oh, you're the wisdom girl. He didn't know me by my name. He's like, he just thought that was hilarious. Because you don't want to call him old. You want to say you're wise. That's why you have gray hair. It makes you wise. Say that to an old person. They would like.
I think that's a better word than seasoned.
Seasoned.
Because I've been using that term. I think that's maybe that's a little offensive. You're seasoned.
Well, I really like how you said everybody wants to do good in life, because it's true. Mm-hmm. Like, we're always striving for the next day, and we are here to come and achieve things. I mean, even the people that fall into the spirit of laziness, you know, you still at the end of the day, you have something deep in you that you're not satisfied with. And so want better for yourself. I feel so passionate of just saying that, like, want better for yourself. Even if it's like in the moment of I'm all about the mental health. If you watch any of the episodes, I'm always talking about the mental health. I'm just catching myself doing that.
You're
But
a
I
helper, man.
am.
You're a helper.
I am, because it all starts in here. Like, it just starts in here, you know?
Yeah. I think being different has always been almost like a natural thing for me. I don't know, like, so much necessarily of action wise. Like, I have always craved in my head to do different. Like, I always thought of myself different. I've always thought of myself as just standing out. I don't know. It's weird.
You stood out to me.
No, it's been a weird, like, ever since like a kid, I've always felt like that. And I feel like I've always seen things like from behind the scenes or something like that. But I feel like it's always been easy for me to stand out and go against what the crowd does majority of the time. You know, I've had like seasons of, let's go smoke, you know, like, all right, whatever, I'm down. Let's skip class and smoke. You know, like, all right, you know, I've had my seasons, but I feel like I've always been against the grain of like majority of the world, I guess you could say. And I never wanted to be just like everybody else. I've always had the ideas of doing something different. And I feel like having that, it's just always allowed me to go against the grain of things.
Why do you say that you were like that?
I don't know. I can't explain that.
Like,
I don't know. I really can't put that to a T.
Like, when you look at people, you're just seeing, I want to be different than this because that they are making, like, I don't know, like, can you explain a little bit your thought process when it comes to that?
I think there's been something planted inside of me. Like, it's just like, it's here. And it's not something that like I view like in front of me. It's just something that's here. It's not something that I see and like, okay, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, like, you're like a judgment lens.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
it's
like
not
that.
a judgment lens.
Okay.
It's not a judgment lens. But it is something like, I mean, at the same time, it is like with the crazy part, it is, I don't want to be like that. You know, and I know it's noticeable that we live in such a broken world, or we live in such a crazy world. You know, it's noticeable, and I'm sure anybody listening can say that and agree with that. We live in a freaking crazy world.
Yeah.
I mean, you go down to your neighbor's house, you probably someone crazy that you know down the street. I mean, we just live in a crazy place. That's how it is.
Yeah. You always have to, like, especially women, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Women with children, like, you have to be aware of your surroundings. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So I get that. And I definitely, like, I am the same way too. I would say I feel like I've always stood out as well. I don't really know my thought process on that growing up, like why I stood out. I think I just did. Okay. I know it's how I was created. I was just me being me. Like, that's all it was. And I have a very loyal heart, and I love people. Like, I want to build relationships. Like, if you're my friend, like, I'm loyal to you. You know, I invest in people. So I think that's what it is. Like, people just saw the love in me and, you know, and the beauty in me. And I just think that because you can be beautiful on the outside, but if you're not beautiful inside, you know, that's not going to get you. And people are going to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there might be people that, you know, growing up in high school or middle school that attract to your looks, but that doesn't last very long. You know, it's all about what's going on inside that people are going to be attracted to. So I think that's really big. I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make a difference.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do the right thing, I remember. But everybody grows up differently. You don't really, you know what you know, and you kind of I kind of just went with the waves. I'm a very emotional person.
You are very emotional. It's okay. I love you.
Thank you for your logic in my life.
But I think I was thinking about like just this sentence today. And I think it's very, very true that when you stand out or when you are doing good, not good, when you're making an effort to take the right steps, and this is kind of like a general, like talking about, like, I'm talking over a lot of different subjects right now. This isn't one general thing, like just being the nice person. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, doing the right things in life, growing yourself, being inspired, learning stuff, things like that. When you are taking steps to better yourself in your life, it is noticeable to other people. And other people that are craving different, they notice you. It's it's eye-catching, and it's almost like when people that are maybe lost in the world and they're searching, when they get a glimpse of authenticity, it's like gold to their eyes. And it's shiny.
That's you being you is what they see. If you're walking in that confidently, did I say that right?
Yeah, confidently. Yeah.
Okay, cut this out.
I'm not cutting that out.
Please. Okay,
you said it right. It's cool. It's cool.
If you're walking in that confidently,
you think it's that easy, right? It ain't that easy.
Okay. All right.
I get what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
I feel like I need to say this.
What?
The reason why I said that. Because my whole life, I have said things incorrectly, or I would just say things funny, and I remember this one. I'm going to share this to you. I asked if Oklahoma...
This is going to be good.
Huh?
This is going to be good.
I asked if Oklahoma was in Texas. And they just laughed so hard. I was like young. I don't even know how old I was, okay? But my dad at the time said he's going to start making t-shirts with my sayings on it. So I remember that. So I guess that's kind of there where I'm like, did I say that right? Anyways.
I understand. I get you.
Where was I going with that?
You say the right things. Where you were going, because I know where you're going, because we're that connected.
Okay.
You're saying when you walk in that confidently.
Yes. People are going to see that.
Well, you're saying when you walk in that confidently, I'm like, this is what you're saying. Okay. Right? You said that. No, I'm saying, like, never mind, whatever. When you walk in that confidently, when you start taking those steps to, like, actually invest in yourself, doing better, like, that becomes your life. That becomes your actual walk. And
yeah, that's not what I was saying, but you can run with it.
All right. Well, hey, this is what I got from it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to hear that.
Well, it becomes your walk. It becomes your daily life. And eventually, it's the real you. It becomes that inspiring person that someone can look up to. And then that's where that compliment comes in. I'm so inspired by you being just you, by the way that you carry yourself, the way that you walk around, the way that you love on people, the way you talk to people, the way you can hold a conversation. I'm so inspired by you just being you.
I love that.
It's so cool.
I love that. I
freaking love that compliment.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And being confidently you, like, you can't walk that out if you're so bound, like, having a stronghold of, like, fear and insecurities. And for example, for my women's age group that I'm leading, this Saturday we were at this coffee shop and I was getting some coffee. When I was ordering it, the girl that took my order, she complimented me and she said, "You are so beautiful." And I would say for the first time, I did not take that as in my outward appearance. I actually felt that because of my heart. Because in that moment, I felt light off of me. I literally felt like I was walking in my original self. Me just being me. Like, I didn't feel anything holding me back from me being me. The way, like, I was just communicating and talking to her and, like, just starting conversations, and then she complimented me. It wasn't like a right away compliment when she saw me. It was after she started hearing me talk and me expressing myself. And that's when she complimented me. And I was like, wow, like I took this different this time than just like, oh, you're beautiful. And then I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, no, this time it was just like, thank you. Like, so are you.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So I love that.
I'm happy for that.
Thank you.
We celebrate that.
And okay, so today it's called Viridian if you live in Arlington. It's a man-made beach. If you don't know what is Viridian, that's the way to go.
Viridian.
I take my dog there all the time.
Sounds like ESPN.
I like act like I take my dog there because it's beautiful. I love to get morning sun there. And by the way, if you are so into health like I am and just learning about your body and things that help your body, follow Still Waters Breakthrough on Instagram, or you can follow our Instagram, Higher View Podcast, go to my Instagram, and then somehow find Still Waters Breakthrough if you don't know what it is. Because I'm the social media manager on there, so I make content for that. And so I'm learning and growing in it. And I'm kind of getting off track right now, but long story short, the sun is so good for you. Get some sunlight. Like let the light, not look directly in the sun, but let the rays of the sun hit your eyes. Don't wear sunglasses when you're outside. That's a whole reason why. Look up Heal Thyself, HEALTHY, self podcast, and he will tell you why.
I get off work every day and she's just listening to this guy. And she's like, I sit in the car and then she's like, roll down the window, you gotta get your sun. And I just lay there and just like,
but open your eyes, let that light here, because that's where
I'm tired
of the whole thing. Learn. Your body needs you to learn. But anyways, were you gonna say something real quick?
I was just gonna say, we'll definitely have a podcast with Paola to have a discussion about health, because health, your body, your temple, it goes all with the puzzle. It's part of everything. Investing in yourself, it's not just here. It's everywhere.
I love that.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have her on here. But so a little bit about behind the scenes of my day to day. I was in Viridian with Ava right after I dropped him off work. And I get the morning sun, and I swear, do I look sun-kissed to you?
You look sun-kissed.
Okay, that's why. A little secret for you guys to go do. So morning sunlight, I'm there about 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm journaling, I'm reading, and I'm trying to process my thoughts. So I ask myself, what am I thinking right now? Like, what are my thoughts? And I just got stuck because I was explaining this to you earlier. Like, I just got stuck for a second. I'm like, what am I thinking right now? Like, am I thinking about anything? I have to be thinking about something. So I'm just dwelling on that for a minute. But I realized in that moment, I am so used to having the perspective of the way I grew up, like not even necessarily perspective or a thought, but a feeling that I grew up in, like this, the way I explained it to you earlier was like a gray cloud. Like I'm sitting in this gray cloud. It's the best way I can explain the visual of how I felt. There's a lot about that internally that I feel when I say that, but like that's how it was for me. Like I felt like I was in this gray cloud. But today, when I was thinking about what my thoughts were, I was on the outside of that cloud and I was looking at the nature and I was like, I was just striving for peace. I was striving for something better. And it almost felt unnatural for me to be thinking that way. So I just wanted to say that to encourage you guys that whatever you're striving to do next that's better for you, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's almost like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what is this feeling?
You have to get out of what's
normal.
Say that with heavy quotations. Normal.
Like that gray cloud was normal for me.
Yeah.
And so now I'm on the outside of that gray cloud and I'm like, wow. Like, I don't have any thoughts because they're not, in that moment, I realized I don't have any, like, heaviness. It was just this odd comfort.
It's a good start to that journey of like being that inspirable person.
Yeah,
being that person
you.
that someone can look up to. That's a good start. Getting out of the normal.
Because that normal that you are in, there's something better than that. Everybody, even somebody that grew up in a pastor's home or a home that seems like ideal, we're all put together, a family that's been together, and that doesn't have a split family or, a broken home. Like even people that live in the perfect home that you think is perfect, they even have stuff. I'm telling you, everybody does.
For sure. Yeah. But I think we'll wrap up this episode with that. It's been an amazing conversation. I think this was great. Good job. I love you.
I feel it stirring up inside of me. I can keep going. Let's go. I'm just joking.
We'll go for one of these days. We're going to have a 3-hour episode. So you guys just stick around. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think our freaking equipment would last that long. Probably melt at that point. But thank you guys so much for listening. We love you. We really, really do. Yeah. We have so much passion behind this. If you can't tell, we just have a passion for helping people, teaching, speaking, and just sharing knowledge.
Just being here, just conversating. Yeah. Like I'm actually feeling it now that we are having, a few people listening. Like it feels good. Like it feels like people are actually caring about what we're saying, and it just makes me a little emotional thinking about it. But I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, for sure. But tune in next week, guys. We're gonna be back next Saturday. Whenever you guys listen, maybe you listen at work, maybe you listen at the gym, maybe you listen in the car, or right when you wake up, or maybe right when we drop at 10 a.m. But we'll be there on Saturday. We love you guys. We hope you enjoyed the rest of your week.
Yes. And please share this if anybody, okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Shay that I mentioned earlier taught me the 5-second rule. So if anybody crosses your mind while you are listening to our podcast, just send it to them. You don't even have to have a whole explanation. Just send it to them.
You won't.
Because that person.
You won't do it.
Hey. You won't do it. Hey, you won't. This is us 24/7. But just send it to them. They came to your mind for a reason. So I just want to leave you with that.
But we love you guys. Peace out. We'll see you next week. And that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Peace.